Welcome to the Shop Jersey Shore podcast. I'm your host, Lisa Mazzuca. Shop Jersey Shore is brought to you by On Your Mark Designs. On Your Mark Designs is a digital agency in Bayville, New Jersey, and we've been working with small business clients to help them get more leads since 2004. We work with clients throughout Ocean and Monmouth County and beyond, and look forward to helping you find the best businesses and services in the area to help you shop Jersey Shore. Today, I'm here with my guest, Dan the Bugman Latini from Dan Can Home Services. Everyone, I want you to stay tuned. We have a fun giveaway at the end of the show today. We'll ask you to send us a message that answers a question that we talked about during the show. You'll be entered to win a gift card, and we'll announce it before the next episode. Thank you, Dan, for joining me today.
Thank you so much, Lisa. I'm super excited for this. On your mark, get set, go, as you say.
That's what I say. You're right. So let's talk about you and your story. Tell us who you are and what you love about what you do.
Absolutely. So, you and everybody in the commerce that we're involved in, the local networking throughout Ocean County, known as Dan the Bugman Latini. I tell everyone I know it's incredibly cheesy, but I'm not ashamed that if you see something creeping around your house, bugging you, if you think of me, I am not offended whatsoever. If you see an insect and think of Dan the Bugman, that's kind of the hope with the cheesy marketing. But yeah, I've been doing pest control now since the beginning of 2022. Earlier than that. Geez, what am I thinking? Beginning of pandemic is what kind of forced me into it. I got completely forced into a culture change and a career change due to taking care of my family, my wife with her health issues, and for pest control, I had a very nice career with office management and took some time off to take care of the family. And when I was ready to get back to work, the world was not ready for me to get back to work, and everything was kind of shut down, as we all know, and had to find a new line of work. And pest control was hiring. It was essential. And I started off with a entry-level position, no experience whatsoever, but kind of got bit by the science bug and fell in love with it, so to say. So
Bit by the bug.
Bit by the bug. If you talk to anybody in industry, everybody says that.
You've had a number of different roles in the past, right? You said office management, but you went through a stint as a realtor as well. Am I wrong?
Yep. So,
okay.
So in school and then out of high school, I was in restaurant management. So I managed as a general manager for different restaurants for about 16 years. And then I worked in office management doing one company that did crime scene cleanup, which was a very interesting career field. And then I transitioned to AAA Roadside, which was kind of emergency services, helping I think 13.5 million members across the country. And that was a really awesome career that I had for a while. And then, COVID. But honestly, I feel like, me getting into the industry and, kind of taking a step back professionally, take care of my family and be forced into a new career field was a very big blessing in disguise, because I truly feel like I found my calling. And for once, I am never bored with the job. I really love what I do.
That's great. And now you're working for yourself. Previously, your initial experience with pest control was with another company, and now you have your own company. And tell us about that journey, because it's just basically started as far as a business owner goes, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. So I worked there's basically three monopolies, so to say, that like 95% of the pest control companies across the world. And I've worked for two of the big three, as they're called in the industry. And I kind of saw, entry level view of how they do business, how everyone was kind of like a number on a spreadsheet, how there's a little bit of fear mongering, how they kind of take advantage of people by constantly upselling things they don't need. And now being on my own for the last year and 7 months, I'm just trying to do things differently, where I'm not trying to take advantage of anybody. I offer free advice to anybody and everybody who asks me for advice. Might not be the best business tactic, but as you know from my socials, I tout pride over profit, and I'm just doing this because it's a passion. It's something I love. At the end of the day, I like going home with a clear conscience, knowing that I help people more so than, hey, I made a whole bunch of money today. And I find it really, really rewarding that I can help people, that I can offer real life solutions and not just, go after their wallets, so to say. So just having fun doing what I'm
I
doing.
don't know who would disagree with you, Dan, because I have to say that providing the information that you provide to help to educate your potential clients and your potential customers and audience really sets you up as an authority. You are their go-to because they trust you, because you give them good information, and it doesn't always feel like they're being sold. So I feel like that goes a long way to build trust and credibility.
Yep. No, I agree. Kind of coming from a little bit of a sales background and having to teach other salespeople, in like a sales profession, you're taught, kind of tactics, psychological tactics on how to, sell. Whether you're going door knocking and you're using the Jones technique, we're like, hey, Miss Mazzuca, you might need pest control. I'm helping your neighbors down the way. They love what we're doing. Let us help you too. It's psychological. We all want to be like the Joneses, right? And then there's, pressure selling, hard selling. There's all these different tactics. I don't like to sell anybody on anything. I like to be top of mind, obviously, with all my social medias and all the chamber events that I go to. But at the end of the day, I'm just having fun. And I think that and my passion just kind of speaks volumes and resonates with people.
So we know, especially we're networking with you. Basically, every networking meeting that I attend, when you're there, you get 3 or 4 positive testimonials from people in the room. They love working with you. So tell me about your customers. Who do you love working with? Are you targeting any specific demographic, or what kind of customers are calling you?
I don't necessarily think I'm targeting anybody, because I think targeting in itself is, I guess, a sales tactic. And I'm trying not to be salesy in any way. I'm just trying to be natural and let people come to me. Like one of the things that I learned early on in sales is some will, some won't, so what? I'm in the so what aspect, where if you want to work with me, cool. If you don't, that's cool too. And yeah, again, I think that just resonates with people. I love working with kind of like the everyday person, people who are, maybe like me, family oriented, just people who are just looking for help and not necessarily looking to be signed up for something forever.
This qualifies when it comes to residential and commercial.
Absolutely. Yeah, for both residential and commercial, I tell people I have a simple agreement that I use for all my services, just letting my customers know, hey, this is what you're going to get with each service and these are your expectations, but there's no contracts. And I even underline that on every single agreement that I have. And I tell people, like, hey, I believe in my abilities. I sold contracts for years. I don't like that feeling. I just like knowing that, this is the service you're going to get. This is what you can expect. And if you decide that you don't like it in the future, you're not locked into anything. I'm never going to fight for your business.
Okay. So when it comes to commercial clients, what are the types of commercial clients that you're working with? And maybe a commercial client might not realize that you would be right for them. So is there anybody that you do service or can service that could benefit from you, but they might not realize it?
Yeah, so I love working in the commercial space because, kind of coming from the restaurant industry, I especially love working in the food service industry, still taking advantage of all my certification knowledge and food safety knowledge. So I kind of always like having kind of like one foot in the door and kind of being an extra set of eyes for restaurant owners that might not be necessarily looking at the pest control aspect, but maybe aren't also taking the time to get on their hands and knees and look under equipment and see if their team's actually cleaning what they should be cleaning. So I kind of look at every service as a partnership, and I tell my customers, like, hey, I'm going to do my best on my end, but this is teamwork. It doesn't matter what I put down if you on your end aren't necessarily listening to my recommendations or taking them in consideration. The service is only going to go so far. So I work with a lot of different restaurants. I work with breweries. I work with manufacturing, warehouses, a little bit of everything. I have a pretty nice portfolio of different clientele at this point. I think one thing that sets me apart from a lot of my competitors, especially like the big corporate competitors, is a lot of people are only going to cover commercial entities for a handful of bugs. Like I can speak for working for the two of the big three. Usually commercial accounts are only covered for, say, common ants, and I've made videos about that before. Like, what is a common ant? Like, they're ants. They're all ants. They have different intricacies, yeah, but they're not necessarily difficult. But yeah, a lot of commercial accounts might only be covered for common ants, roaches, and rodents. But everything else they're hoping that you get, so they can upcharge you for everything. But what they don't tell you is the same application might cover you for 50 different insects, but they're hoping that you just get some because they're in and out and they're doing little spot treatments if they see something. Me, I go in and the same insects and pests that my residential customers are covered for, so too are my commercial customers, because again, as long as I'm doing the right things, they shouldn't necessarily have an issue with anything, as long as I'm taking my time doing a good visual inspection each month and doing the proper steps to make sure that my customers are staying free.
Excellent. So what is your service area? What does that look like, and who can become your customers in our community?
Yep. So right now, my main service area is anyone in Ocean County, Monmouth County, Mercer County, Burlington County, a little bit of Camden County. So basically, I just draw an hour big circle around my around where I live, out here in Wrightstown, New Egypt area. You and everybody else in the chamber always thought that I was local to Tom's River, and I'm not. I live an hour away, but I love Tom's River. It's become a second home to me, and it's within my service area. It only takes me about 30 minutes to get out there some days, sometimes a little bit longer. But yeah, so anybody in Ocean County, Monmouth, Mercer.
You right are now, so dedicated, so motivated. Dan comes to all of the networking events that are out and about, and he travels far to do it. But that's part of what you feel is the cost of doing business, right? I mean,
absolutely. And plus, I'm setting myself up for growth. I am definitely hustling and doing a lot right now, but I'm trying to have the future mindset where, as I get a technician hired for my first one, if I ever find a good one, once I have a second technician set up, I can be like, hey, all right, you're my Ocean County guy, or hey, you're my Burlington County guy. Now I can focus on growing the business, and not just working the business. So
well, and that was kind of leading into my next question: is what's next for you? Is there something about what you're doing that you're excited to grow? Are there new products or services, or maybe licenses in your future? What do you think about that?
Yeah. So I have a couple licenses that I haven't even utilized yet, just because there's not enough hours in the day for me to necessarily, advertise for those customers. So, right now I have my school licenses, my 13B, which allows me to do pest control inside of schools, which is a whole another beast in pest control. And that's very time consuming. So I need someone that can, do that and have that particular license. I would love to get my manufacturing licenses, my 7D, so I can, not my manufacturing, but my food processing license, my 7D, so I can work in the food processing realm, because that's something that, again, I know very well. It's something about pest control that I love because it comes with its own unique challenges. But again, there's not enough hours in the day for me to advertise that. I'm getting more and more into the green field and the green spectrum pest control, specifically actually because of people like you and many others in our chamber who are, chemically concerned, and rightfully so in a lot of aspects. So I'm trying to make sure that I have something for everybody. But, I'm just trying to always have a tool for every need, so to say.
Okay. Yeah. I also wanted to talk to you because you are you travel so much throughout every day of doing business in the area. We love working and living at the Jersey Shore. I know you live a little bit west, but you're here all the time. So what's your favorite thing to do, enjoy here in the Ocean and Monmouth County area? Do you have any hidden gems you'd recommend?
I don't know about hidden gems. I feel like all the gems that I know and love with my family are very well known. So, having two little ones, Ava, my 10-year-old, and Cole, and my 7-year-old, my Bugman Jr. I love taking them over to Jenkinson's Boardwalk and, having beach days there and getting the passes so they can ride all the rides and tire them out so I can, get them to bed as soon as we get home. I definitely love different parts of the LBI. I love Fantasy Island. Love going down to Schooner's Wharf, which is actually one of my newer customers, and that's a really cool area to explore down there because of all the shops and all the places they can get by foot. I don't really know about hidden gems, but yeah,
No,
I've always
perfect.
Yeah.
And then another thing is that you are so involved with the community. I know that you give back quite a bit and you work with some local charities and organizations. Tell me about some of the ways that you give back with the nonprofits in our area.
Yeah, absolutely. So, you and I were both on the board of the Toms River Chamber of Commerce, which I am so proud of because they do so much good for the community as a whole, not only, small businesses, but also the future generations. I love how involved we are with the Toms River high schools and getting, the young minds involved in the chambers and kind of, being, I guess kind of like a stepping stone for their future. So I love that.
Sure. The GTRCC, the Greater Toms River Chamber of Commerce, the scholarship fund is so meaningful to the students in the area. And it's really inspiring when we choose the recipients of those awards and we get to hear from them and what their future plans are. It's an exciting thing to be part of.
Absolutely. And the chamber side, I'm also on the board with a nonprofit called 21 Plus, where we help people with physical and mental disabilities live fulfilling lives in partnership with the community and their families. We have a bunch of different group homes throughout South Jersey. And, that kind of touches home to me because I have several people in my family that, have different levels of mental disabilities. So being able to, kind of work hand in hand with a group like that is enabling people to live a fulfilling life and not necessarily just be taken care of, as is the case in a lot of other group homes. That's super rewarding to me, and it's something really meaningful to me. I'm also part of JBJ Soul Foundation. They're one of my clients, so I, always try to take care of them. Make sure they're pest free, but I'm also always trying to, advertise for them. I have all my meetings there, so I'm always trying to give back to the community that way. I love what they're doing for people in need throughout Toms River and beyond. If
people aren't aware of what JBJ Soul Kitchen does or is, give them a little bit of a.
Yeah, so JBJ Soul, founded by John Bon Jovi and actually his wife as well. So they started the nonprofit called JBJ Soul Foundation, where they have technically 2.5 restaurants that pop up at OCC now. So basically how they work it is anybody that needs a meal and can't pay, you can go there and get a full 3-course meal at any time, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Well, not so much breakfast, brunch and dinner, we'll say. If you don't have the means to pay, they don't ask for anything. But if you do have the means to pay, they ask you to make a $20 donation for your meal, and if you can pay it forward, to pay for someone else's meal. So I love that, coming from a family with very limited means and kind of being a product of the system myself growing up. I'm always trying to look for ways that I can, give back and trying to just empower and encourage others.
That's amazing, Dan. I love that. So is there anything that you want to promote right now? Is there an event coming up that you're involved with, or something you want to draw visibility to with our audience?
So July 31st, let me double check my calendar before I give out the wrong information. 1 second. July, that's August. Sorry, viewers. Yes, July 31st, through the Greater Toms River Chamber of Commerce and the Young Energy Professionals Committee, as well as Community Medical Center Emerging Leaders. We are doing an event down at Seaside. Have to get back to on the exact event. Maybe we can do a little pluggy plug in the description. But that is be a really great event. While it is hosted by the young leaders from both the Toms River Chamber of Commerce and Community Medical Center, it is open to all, and all the proceeds for that go back directly to the Young Emerging Professionals Scholarship Foundation, which we have through the Toms River Chamber of Commerce, and it goes back to the hospital for the maternity wing to help new expecting families as well. So that can be a really great event. And last year, I think we saw 100 people, so it's gonna be a really good event again.
I love that. Okay, so Dan, tell the audience how to get in touch with you, where to follow you on socials, and what your preferred method of contact is.
Yes. So preferred method of contact is my direct cell phone number. I don't have an 800 number, but it's 609-224-8071. I don't know if the viewers can see it. It's at the bottom of the screen right there. And my good friend, Lisa Mazzuca, I don't know if you ever heard of her, but she made my website, whocandancan.com. And that is an amazing platform full of blogs and useful information and direct links to all my socials. You can find me on LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube.
That's awesome. Dan, thank you so much for joining me today with Shop Jersey Shore. This is our very first episode of the Shop Jersey Shore podcast. That's all the time we have for today. And is everyone ready for our giveaway? You could win a $20 gift card to Spire Coffee House in Toms River. Dan, what question should we have them answer to win the gift card?
Okay. Well, since this is your first episode and you were doing amazing in your intro, you mentioned a founding year that you started helping local businesses go and thrive through SEO. So what year did On Your Mark Design start doing business and helping our community thrive?
Please take that the answer to that question and email your answer to lisa@shopjerseyshore.com. You can put Dan the Bugman in the subject line of your email. And thank you so much for joining us. I'll see you next week. And remember to shop Jersey Shore.